Greetings, 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 everyone. Dr. Akina Finch is here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Social Power Summit Speaker Interview Series. Today we're going to have a speaker, our first speaker actually, from Nashville panel. And the reason why we're having a Nashville panel at the Social Power Summit is because a lot of people have never been to Nashville, haven't really heard about what Nashville does. And so, with that being said, we want to definitely start telling y'all more about what Nashville does, especially in the social media space. You'll be surprised at who is actually living in Nashville that you didn't know about. So, we're just waiting on Dan to come on in here. Okay. Hello, everybody. Dan is coming. We're just waiting on him to pop on in here. There he is. So welcome,
Excellent.
Mr. Dan Morris, to the Social Power Summit Speaker Interview Series. And yes, and Mr. Dan is part of our Nashville panel. And believe it or not, we have some great people here in Nashville, Tennessee that are doing great things in social media. And he is, of course, one of them with his wonderful partner. And he's going to tell you all about that. So tell us a little bit about Dan R. Morris.
Well, I've been running a company called Blogging Concentrated for 5 years. And we teach bloggers, and podcasters who are making money how to replicate that, how to duplicate their efforts and make it a career. We don't really teach beginners. That's not up my alley. But we do teach people who are making money, whether it's accidental or on purpose. And then we also run Amplify Today, which is a podcast I think we've been running since 2014. And it's I do most of them with Rachel Martin, my business partner, who I'll mention in a moment. And that's kind of a what's going on in tech podcast. But the part that I like is I'm a huge Paul Harden fan. So I like to do stories. So my most two recent stories were how did Apple computers tip? Like, how did it become a powerhouse? What was the moment in time that changed everything for Apple? And then I also did the same thing for Twinkies. What made Twinkies a common household name in America in the 80s and 90s? What was the thing that made Hostess tip? So I did just 22-minute stories, enough for your drive. And then so we do that podcast. And then Rachel runs findingjoy.net, which is a pretty big motherhood blog. It's about the mom, the woman behind the mom. Is mostly what it's about. Not necessarily about motherhood, but about finding yourself as a mother, as a mom. And then our flagship product every year, which Hakeem has been a contributor to, is BC Stack, and that is that's a compilation of 65 digital marketing experts. We put them all into one product called BC Stack. And we sell that unit to as many thousands of people as we can through affiliates. And affiliates drive all of the traffic. We do our own traffic, but they drive most of the traffic. And those four things together are pretty much a pretty packed year for us.
Well, I see another one of your contributors in here, Colin. So he's in here as well. So,
It's good.
It is a lot
He's a good man.
of people that are contributing, 65 different contributors to this package. And you're being a little modest on this. People think that this might just be in the U.S. No, you are all over, UK, Australia, China, everywhere. I've gotten people from all over the world because of this BC Stack. And so tell us how you got that reach. How did you get that momentum?
Well, we traveled the world teaching. And when we did a 7-city tour in New Zealand 2 years in a row, and during one of those, I mentioned a couple of gurus, like somebody that you might pay attention to or learn from. And I realized that nobody in the class in New Zealand knew who I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was important, even though the internet is like the great equalizer, at the same time, it's somewhat incestuous. Like, you're in your Facebook groups and you're learning the same things from the same people. We do website reviews all the time, and I swear I see the same 24 plugins on everyone's site. So even though there's a million plugins that do a billion things, everyone uses 24, and everyone's in the same 24 Facebook groups. So even though the internet's the great equalizer, for some reason, we don't often get outside of our own sphere, our own world. So it started because I thought, you know what, we need to bring the people that we know to the rest of the world, that the audience that we've gathered. And since that point, I make it a goal to make 90% of our contributors, 80 to 90%, brand new, who've never been in BC Stack before, which means I have to cold call a lot of people to see if they're interested. And I try to find people who are as far away from me as I possibly can. So, we take recommendations from the BC Stack audience. There's people in Madagascar, and Malaysia, and New Zealand, and Philippines, and Russia, and like, who are the people that you'd like to see in Stack that I don't know anything about? And that is a lot of how we get the contributors. Those contributors have audiences in far, far away places. So for the contributors of BC Stack, if you put a product in and we help you grow your list, it really is a global list. I mean, it's people really from every corner of the globe.
So now knowing that, traveling around the world, speaking on podcasting, and of course social media, because of course you are great at that as well. And what made you decide that this was the time for you to reach out and say, hey, what are we going to do? Why do these people need to know about this B-Stack now? Why is this the product? You could have done any product. Why was it the B-Stack? Why was it time for B-Stack?
That's an interesting question. I only say that's an interesting question because now I'm in year 5, and BC Stack has become a pretty big thing. We had even Dan Miller jumped on board. 48 days to the work you love, or the life you love. He was a promoter this year, and I thought, man, when we're getting to the point in time when Chicken Soup for the Soul and Dan Miller are promoting the product, we've become a different product. It's no longer a small little product that we put together. But why we put it together in the first place, other than that reason, why was that the time? I don't really have a good answer for that, other than sometimes when you see an opportunity, if you let the opportunity pass you by, I think that you down the road. I think you realize that maybe you had missed something. And there are a few opportunities that I've missed in my life that I recall that I don't like that feeling. So taking advantage of moments is kind of what every company that gets on Shark Tank has done. It's that one thing that could change your life pass you by. Not let it be an idea on a napkin, but really crank it out. And let me tell you, BZ Stack is not a small endeavor. Wrangling 65 people and getting thousands and thousands of people to come to the site in the course of 1 week, you gotta hustle. You gotta really work hard. So, I mean, if you have that mentality with everything that you do, you're willing to just crank out product, crank out something that is a good idea. Even if it doesn't do well, it's a good idea. Just because it didn't do well doesn't mean it's a bad idea. It means you got to change something in your marketing. You just have to change something. But a good idea is generally a good idea.
See, you just dropped a lot of nuggets because there's people that have great ideas all the time, have these opportunities, and they just say, oh, that's not for me or whatever. But you just were like, look, I had to jump on that. I don't like when I don't jump on it. I don't like when I'm not, you like being cutting edge. We all like being cutting edge. And with the BC Stack, especially now having Chicken Soup for the Soul as a part of it, you are now cutting edge. I mean, this is awesome. And, you know, it is just amazing that, you know, you just didn't give up on the idea. You knew it was profitable. You knew it was the right fit. You just need to tweak it a little bit. And so kudos to you for that, because I've been a contributor for the past 2 years and I have completely loved it. I mean, it is phenomenal. 65 products for $37, and you get access to them for 2 months so that you can decide if you want to get a hold of these things for 2 months. I mean, come on. And then once you get a hold to them, they're yours for life. How cool is that? $37. Some of those things are in 4 digits if you buy them alone, and you got them for $37. I mean, that was a smooth move. And so, what other products?
Let me.
Yes, please.
Let me expand on 2 things that you mentioned. There is a point in time every single year without fail that I get really discouraged. That I think this year's BC Stack is not going to work. You know, I cold call people all over the world, and some people have never heard of it, and they've never heard of me. So the whole thing just seems fishy, you know. So they say no. And then on top of that, there's no chatter about BC Stack, you know, like a month beforehand, because it's been a year since the last time. And then on top of that, this year was the worst for that feeling of impending doom. But we told people last year we were going to raise the price to $47, and we did a pre-sale at $37, because everyone's been telling me it's just totally under, you know, the price is too low. So so people did pretty well buying it at $37. But at the same moment, I had this feeling that 47 was not going to work. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I'm going to give the money back to the $10 back to all the pre-sale buyers, and I'm just going to sell it at 37. And it's going to be like they bought it at 27. But the whole time when I was getting no's, cold calling people, and when there's no chatter and I'm worried about the price, I actually was thinking this year is not going to go very well. But in the end, this year we grew by 34% units and sold. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is totally because I had this feeling in my stomach that it wasn't going to go well. So I did stuff that I've never done. I mean, I reached out to like every Facebook friend I had. I sent a note that said, hey, would you be willing to promote BC Stack if I gave you an image and an affiliate link? Just people I know, like I just sent them a Facebook message. And some people, that's just not really the way that you do things. So, but because of that, I ended up getting a bunch more affiliates that just forgot about it, and they were glad that I piped in. And then the way we do it is, if you want to become an affiliate, you just email me. It says on the bottom of the page. And I'm going to tell you that my goal has always been under 3 minutes to get you back your affiliate link and your package. Like I have everything ready. I got a spreadsheet. I copy paste. I know everyone's link. I know how to put your username into the link and how to paste it back into the email, and then I can reply. And I try to reply within like 3 minutes, so you're off and running. Because I know that as soon as you get the link, you're off and running. And at that time, I can do the administrative side, stuff on my side. You don't really need to wait for me. So we hustled like mad this year, like crazy, and it paid off in a big way. But I would say let the down moments like fire you up, because if you let the down moments take you down, then you're just going down. But if you let the down moments just totally fuel it. Like, you have to overcome this. And I felt like I had to. You know, Rachel is watching right now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's my business partner. I can't let her down. You know, we got two families that thrive on this business, and at no point in time can I call her and say, "Hey, like, this sucked." I gotta be able to say, "Look, I did 4 million things today to make this work, and in the end, it worked like crazy." And I hope to do it again. But I got to tell you, that week there's like no sleep, because, you know, when we're all over the world, that means we get questions in the middle of the night all the time. So it's 2 or 3 hours sleep on the couch. I never left the living room. My kids went away for the week. My parents helped craft the plan so that I could just totally work. But you got to really be willing to crank. I mean, I think that's the only way. If you're in a corporate job and you're going to do something like this and you want to get out of that job, I don't think working from 9 to 10:30 p.m. on the internet is going to do it for you. I think you need to have a big idea, and I think you need to work your butt off. I think you need to take your vacation time and use it for something that's work related. And you just got to sacrifice until you've crossed whatever threshold it is that you want to cross, and you can leave that and do what we're doing, which is, you know, full time making money on the internet. I don't think there's another way. You know, we'll talk about passive income tonight, but I don't really think there's another way.
And so I like that. I like the fact that you were, you know, honest, because a lot of times that's what we're going to do at Social Power Summit. We're not giving you fluff. We're telling you the real deal. Yes, even people that are killing the game, making 33% increases in their business in 1 week, get discouraged. It's okay.
It is.
You know? And you know, and then better yet, it just shows you're human, and it made you do things that you have never done before. It made you reach outside your comfort zone and do what you needed to do. And I mean, that is priceless.
So speaking of that comfort zone, in order to get back in the comfort zone, I have been sending all those people that I just blatantly sent a sales message to this note that says, "Hey, look, I know that was salesy, but for 1 week a year, I got to try everything." And I had to try it. And I apologize by sending you this crazy sales message in the middle of the day. But sometimes you just got to try stuff. And some of it stuck and some of it didn't. I don't know, but it was good. In the end, it was really good.
So you have to take the risk as an entrepreneur. You know, you have to take the risk. And but at the end, you're happy because you're doing something you love. You put energy into something you love, and you learned a new technique and a new skill to get to where you love. So, I mean, that is amazing. And so I know that you travel around talking about podcasting, blogging, and social media all over the countries. So tell us some of the things that you speak on at any country, no matter what. What is that? Those 3 things that any country, any speaking engagement wants to know.
We like to reframe the word authentic. I think that for the most part, it's become a cliche term, and I don't think most people know what it means. I think you think you know what it means, but I think you don't really know what it means. So we spend a lot of time on that in the beginning, because I don't think anyone's out there really pretending to be someone else. So when they go hear a speaker and the speaker says, you just have to be yourself and be authentic, I think most people think to themselves, well, that's what I'm doing. I am being authentic. I'm being myself. But that's not what it means. That somehow some of these people get it all confused. They get it all screwed up. So let me give you an example of something that is not authentic, and then you'll understand, or people watching will have a pretty good idea of what we mean by really be authentic. Everything that you do, everything, this call, the BC Stack, walking into your office, everything that you do is a filter for your audience. Everything that you wear, everything that you say makes somebody want to be your friend and makes someone else not want to be your friend. Howard Stern is like the supreme example. Every time that dude opens his mouth, 7 out of 10 people turn the TV off, but 3 people keep it on. And those 3 people become 50 million people because he realizes that he is the filter for his business. He's the guy that people decide to follow. Well, so are you. You're the filter. I mean, just like Billy Graham, if somebody would come on Billy Graham and say, hey, don't mention Jesus on Facebook. It causes too much of a problem. Like, I don't think Billy Graham would be down with that. He'd be like, look, if I don't mention Jesus, I'm not Billy Graham. That's the way it is. So what happens online is people get all kinds of ideas. Like, I'm going to give away a $25 Amazon gift card to get people into my community. If you run a menopause website and you give out $25 Amazon gift card, you have to sign up. I will sign up. And that means I will be on your email list, but I have no interest in menopause. I'm not going to read your blog posts. Like, you have just become inauthentic. You have just ruined the filter that's going to grow your business, because now it's based on something that isn't going to bring a true fan to your table. Because if you have 100 true fans that spend $100 with you a year, you've got something going. You could quit. If you got 1,000 true fans who spend $100 a year with you, you're done. You can retire. You've got yourself a business. But you can't get those true fans by being fake authentic. Like, I am being myself, but I'm going to give away a $25 Amazon gift card because that'll be fun for my community. Yeah, well, it'll be fun for everyone else's community too that come over just to pilfer your list. And then 2 months from now, you're going to be asking some guru why your email open rate is so low. And then you're going to start tweaking things that don't need to be tweaked to try to get your open rate higher. But the only reason it's low is because you invited people who don't belong on your list to your business.
Come on.
You gave an Amazon gift card. Now you got crap on your list. They don't care what you have to say. So let me tell you, this is what I have been doing this week. Rachel has a book that's coming out with Penguin Random House on October 9th called The Brave Art of Motherhood. And we have been given 250 ARC copies, advanced reader copies, to send out. And the publishing house, Waterbrook, Penguin Random House, their idea is that you send the ARC copies out to reviewers, blog book reviewers and influencers who will write reviews. Well, we don't have to do that, because over the last day, I have spent going through Rachel's Finding Joy Facebook messages, and I have found 250 unbelievably true fans of Rachel's. Like, they write, Rachel, I wake up every day to your blog posts. They change my world. So tomorrow, because Rachel has used her voice to grow 200,000 people on her page, because she's used to just her voice, her ability to connect with an audience. She doesn't shill for brands that are not, that aren't cohesive with her program. And she's taken it slow. She could have made a lot more money by now. There's a lot of brands out there that would pay for her reach, but she said, look, this is what I'm building. You don't fit. So in the course of 2 days, we found 250 people who are true fans to the core, are super excited, cannot believe they've been chosen to help Rachel market this book, and they're going to get a book that they've been just waiting to read because they read everything that she writes. Like to me, it's just been unbelievable how easy it is with Rachel's audience to start to market this book with people, not people who are influenced by, like, hey, we're going to give you this book and you can write about it on your blog and you can have an affiliate link, but people who are in their kitchen thinking, oh my Lord, this is the greatest day of life. Rachel's written me, she's going to send me a book that I get to read and review for her. Like, 200, I'm talking about 250 people, and it's been easy. I haven't had to do anything. This is even funny. We decided, we sell shirts through Teespring. So I decided, why don't we send an email through Teespring, because Teespring allows you to email your buyers. So why don't we just send an email through Teespring to the people who bought a T-shirt last year and see if they would like to they'd like to get a review copy and write above the book. And we got all kinds of replies. Like, it came from Teespring. It didn't come from us, really. Went through them. But people wrote on her blog, like, hey, I just got this crazy email. Is this true? Like, really? I bought a shirt and now I get the book? It's just like, this is an unbelievably cohesive, like, business where everything she's ever done has been strictly authentic with her voice and where she's headed and the book and the look and feel of the site. Like, it's just been amazing. She's never done a $25 Amazon Guard giveaway. She's never done a blog post for 50 different brands that have nothing to do with anything. Because a lot of times a brand will come and we'll think, you know what, we could probably make it fit. We could make it work for moms. But making it work is not the same as somebody coming to the door and it's like, oh, that's perfect. Starbucks. All of our people drink Starbucks. And you have a mom program. This is just fits perfectly. So for me, going around the world explaining the concept of being authentic as different from being yourself, but making sure that everything that you do is an appropriate filter for the people who join your business, that means you end up with a much smarter business at the end. We're talking about Twitter descriptions. You can't say, I wear pink and I have 2 dogs and my husband's in the military. That's not filtering anyone in and out. You got to say, I work hard every day to bring you the best deals for women over 40. Like, that's your filter. That's your authentic filter. The other one, I wear pink, 2 dogs, and my husband's in the military. How does that determine who's on your list? How does that work for you? Like, it doesn't. It's not part of the program. You've got to figure out every single day a filter that pushes people away as easily as it brings them in, because you can't have the wrong people in your business, or you'll have 100,000 fans and 4 comments on your Facebook updates.
Woo! Did y'all catch those nuggets? First off, stop trying to get brands that don't align with you. First off, be authentically you. Don't just put any and everything out there and think that you're going to get people that's going to care about your stuff. You're going to get people, but that doesn't mean that they're going to care about your stuff. So You have to make sure that everything that you do aligns with your brand. Otherwise, you're going to tank the people who actually do care. What's better? A whole bunch of likes or true, authentic followers that's going to purchase your stuff, that's going to follow your brand, that's going to shout your praises for free 99 because they believe in what you're doing, compared to somebody who was lured onto your stuff with a $25 Amazon gift card. He just broke it down to you.
Here's number 2.
Okay, break that. Come on with it.
Number 2, are you a curator or a creator? Let me tell you the difference. Jimmy Fallon is a creator. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Fallon's videos get shared millions of times by curators. You have to decide if you want to be the expert to your community. You can't bring experts to your community. Like, that doesn't make you the expert. That makes you Larry King. Like, you need to be creating the content, and other people need to be bringing you to their communities. If you have to decide, Rachel, who writes all of her own content, like, there isn't guest writers on Find a Joy. Like, she is the voice, right? If your Facebook strategy is to be sharing Jimmy Fallon videos and recipes and all kinds of videos all the time, like, who cares when you disappear? No one. Right. Because everyone else shares that stuff. If you go on Pinterest and you have this plan of sharing everybody else's stuff 9 times and then sharing your stuff 1 time, you're doing it wrong. Because the people who use Pinterest, they curate their own content. They don't need to have you to help them curate it even more. Like, they follow who they want to follow. You need to be pinning your own stuff all the time. Let the audience follow a variety of people, but they're not going to see your stuff every time they log on if you have the 10-in-1 philosophy. If you're a curator, You need to be running your business. McDonald's and Nike are not giving you Reebok commercials or Burger King commercials. They're giving you McDonald's and Nike stuff because they are the experts of their brand. So the second thing that we walk around and teach is that concept. You can be Larry King if you want to teach people how to interview, or if you want to be one of the experts, like on that whole masterclass thing, like, you know, Christopher Walken is teaching acting. He's teaching acting because he's good at acting. He doesn't interview actors. He's an actor. He's the expert. So if that's where you want to position yourself, you cannot position yourself as the expert if you're just bringing experts to the table, because then you just become Larry King, and Larry King's not the expert in anything except maybe interviewing. But I don't know what I wouldn't buy a gardening book from Larry King. I mean, what is he the expert in other than interviewing? Like getting contracts for movies? Like what? I don't even know what he would be an expert at. I have no idea. So you just have to decide, is your social media plan going to be about everyone else? And then you just become like everybody else. Or is your social media plan going to be designed to grow your business? And then when you disappear, there's no one else out there giving out that information. If you're sharing Jimmy Fallon videos and you disappear, guess what? 48 other people are sharing Jimmy Fallon videos. So,
Exactly.
like, who cares if you disappeared? Nobody.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. So I guess my next question is, how in the world was I so lucky to get Dan R. Morris to be a part of the Social Power Summit? Tell us why you're being a part.
You asked. I said, yeah, that'd be great.
It was just that simple, huh?
I mean, you're down the street. We should hang out more.
I agree. And you know, when you come to the Social Power Summit, you'll be speaking on Saturday, and you'll be right after lunch, and your panel is going to showcase all the great things that's happening in Nashville right down the street, right? You know, you are traveling all over the world and giving them all this great knowledge, and they could just come and talk to you right down the street. And it's amazing that they don't understand that they have such a wealth of knowledge in their city, you know? And that's why we are going to definitely be showcasing you at that time. And then, you know, so I want anybody who is interested in hearing Dan speak about all this great nuggets, because, you know, this was just a little snippet of what he's getting ready to do for you at the Social Power Summit. And, you know, of course, I hope Rachel is coming as well. You know, we got her covered as well. And, you know, so go to Social Power Summit and get your ticket. I mean, this is probably the cheapest you're ever going to get Dan in a room for. It's $199 for VIP, $149 for 2-day general admission, and $99 for a 1-day ticket. That includes my birthday party. How cool is that, right? Yes. You know, I had to throw in a little fun. And people are like, you're actually doing that, you know. So we're going to have a lot of networking time is the point. We're going to have a lot of learning time. And we're going to have a lot of, you know, getting truly engaged. And I'm just honored to have Dan in the building to be able to give these nuggets to the audience. Because, I mean, you just told one story and you just swooped right through like 80 nuggets in that one story. And they're just not ready. They're just not ready, Dan.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Since you started talking about the Social Power Summit, we've gained 3 people. So if you're watching this and you're not annoyed, then I think you need to pay attention, because this is what self-promotion looks like. This is like, no one's tooting your horn for you. Like, she just added value by talking about what's coming at the event. Like, this is the kinds of things that you have to get, you know, used to doing. Like, there aren't a lot of people out there like Akina that are good at it. I'm not good at it. Like, I'm watching like, oh yeah, I should probably do this kind of thing in our webinars, but I'm just not good at it yet. So for me, this kind of thing is a good for me to watch, because I like to see how people show pride in something that's great without being salesy and annoying. Like, just being like, look, this is how much greatness I put together for you and I'd like you to come. Like what you're doing right now is a real lesson to people watching, because I think a lot of people are just afraid to really talk about what it is they do. And I really appreciate what you just did.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I mean, you know, I believe in my speakers. I ask prime stock. Do you understand? I ask people that's not fluffy, that's not going to try to blow smoke. You know, I ask real deal Holyfield people. I have workshops that's going to be Facebook, YouTube. You know, we're going to do Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're going to do some live streaming workshops. And these are going to be real things, right? Real things. Then we're going to have some people that's going to talk about making money on social media. And they're going to be honest about it. And then they're going to be the whys, which is where you fall in. Why should I be on social media? Why? Because what you did with social media by bringing the B-Stack together, bringing them to all these different countries, and making sure that you bring in at least 95% new affiliates each time, so that somebody new is going to get some knowledge. I mean, that right there is what I speak on. I mean, I love causes. I love movement. I love encouragement. I am done with blowing the smoke. Okay? You know, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. Yeah, you want them to buy the B-Stack, but $37 is not going to hurt nobody. Okay? It's not going to hurt anybody.
No.
And they're going to get a valuable amount of knowledge. Okay? You're not trying to kill them. You're giving them value. 65 people, 65 different products, 65 different points of view on digital marketing. Come through. And then, I mean, I can't even talk about Rachel. I mean, Rachel, just, you know, Finding Joy and the book is just blowing my mind. So, you know, so kudos to you, Rachel, my darling. I know you're still watching. And
you give me one more second?
Sure.
All right, you brought up something. This is number 3. You said
come on.
Something about why you should be on social media. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you should not be on social media. You should not have a blog. You should not have a podcast. You should have a message. Because social media and blogging and a podcast are tools. They're just tools.
Yes.
Like you don't need that. You don't need to be on social media. Like Apple didn't have any problem selling computers when they weren't on social media. You need to figure out who needs your message and how are you going to get it to them. Social media might be one of those ways. A blog might be one of those ways. A vlog might be one of those ways. But you don't have to do them all. You don't have to do any of them. You know, Boeing's a plane company. They use Flickr.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who uses Flickr? But Boeing does, and they use it very well. Garbage Pail Kids, they use Snapchat, right?
Yeah.
So you need to figure out, what is your message? What is it you're trying to do for the world? And then you just need to figure out, how do my talents align with different tools to get my message out? If you don't like to write, then you should probably not blog. Like that's just real. Don't try to do something that you're not good at. There's other things you could be great at. If you got a personality bigger than the sun, you should probably be on YouTube. You should probably let people see that. And not blog, like let people see the personality that you've put together. But you know, there's clients who come to us and they want to start a social media program. Social media is not like the rest. Like you don't get to stop. You don't get to take a week off or your page looks outdated. So you got to figure out for yourself, I do have a message. Do I have the means to do social media 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, forever, basically? You don't have to be on it every second of the day, but you got to have that mindset that like we don't get to take 3 months off unless we have some sort of a program that's going to get people excited about like season 2. And you finish season 1 and you're going to have some sort of follow-up and buzzwords and get people back in. But you just need to know that you don't need to be on social media. You don't need to have a blog. You don't need to podcast. You don't need to vlog unless you are just trying to figure out, how do I get my message out there? And then do I have the tools, the time, the money, the constitution to do what it takes on the different platforms to be relevant. Because you don't get to dictate relevance. You don't get to dictate the algorithm. You just get to play by the rules and be awesome. Sometimes the rules work in your favor when you truly are awesome, when people truly love what you have to say. But if you're not at that point yet, then you sort of have to figure out, do I have the constitution to play by the rules? Or am I going to join another Facebook group and complain about reach? I can tell you right now that Rachel reaches like 4 million a week without ever paying for Facebook, ever. She's never paid a dime. And she can reach 4 million in a day, in an hour, and 2 hours. Because when she puts out an image or a blog post, it speaks so deeply to the soul of the mothers who are reading. They want to share it. They immediately share it. She has a goal of 1,000 likes or shares in the first hour. And she knows if it's going slow for the first 10 minutes, maybe I was a little bit off today. But you don't need to be on any platform. You need a message. And then you need to figure out, all right, how am I going to get that message out? Where do my tools, my talents line up with the available platforms, including skywriting? Some people do that on the beach. Some restaurants have that playing with the big banner behind it at the beach. It works for them. It draws people in. You can't say it doesn't work. Otherwise, they'd stop doing it. Yellow Pages works for some plumbers because there's a few people out there that still use the Yellow Pages. I mean, you can't poop with them for using it. That's the method, and if it works for them, awesome, fantastic. So, yeah, we're all about don't start a blog until we at least tell you what does that mean. Do your talents line up with that particular thing? And then is that the best way to get your message out? Because sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Okay, so y'all already, that's just mic drop right there. So that's why you need to be at the Social Power Summit. That's why you need to be in Nashville, Tennessee, September 14th and 15th to hear nuggets like this, to hear true, authentic, real talk about social media and how you can grow your business. This man is traveling all over the world using these philosophies. Why should you not listen to him? Okay? I don't know why you shouldn't. I don't know why you shouldn't. And he just basically dropped it. And he's going to be giving this to you at the Social Power Summit. So just log on to socialpowersummit.com, get your room, get your ticket, and be in the place. That's all I can say. Now, Mr. Dan, before we wrap this up, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of the Social Power Summit. You are going to be absolutely invaluable. And tell them how they can find you and how they can connect with you.
Well, I would say Free Weekly Mastermind is our hub on Facebook, not the page, the group. When you go to the page, which I created erroneously, it was a mistake, but now it exists. Every single post says, you were here for the wrong reason. Please click here and go to the group. So feel free to go to that page, but you will be redirected. I would say that's the main. Otherwise, bcstack.com, you can pre-buy for next year. Let me tell you why you want to do that, because it happens 1 week out of the year, and it's in July. If you're on vacation, if you're working late, it doesn't matter what it is. We still get 400 messages the day after it's over asking if they could still get in. So the only way to be sure of that is just to pre-buy. Because how are you going to keep track of a week next July right now? Like, you going to bookmark it? Like, how are you going to do it? I don't know how. Otherwise, Rachel, who will be with me at Social Power Summit, she writes findingjoy.net. If you're a mom, we would love to have you come over. Well, don't come over if you're not a mom. We speak to moms. So all kinds of moms, but, grandmoms and regular moms. But, if you're an 18-year-old strapping young basketball player, move on. There's other pages for you.
Yeah. Let's just drop it, right?
Yes.
I love it.
So anyway, that's where we are. Free Weekly Mastermind on Facebook, bcstack.com, and we have Amplify Today on iTunes. Come listen to some cool stories.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Dan, for spending this time with me and dropping these nuggets. And I am just appreciative of all that you do. And I look forward to collaborating in the future, of course.
Excellent. Well,
And
thanks for having
seeing
me.
you in September 14th and 15th at the Social Power Summit. Definitely get your tickets, everyone. And don't miss out on his session because you already know it's going to be fire. So with that being said, thank you, everyone. And until next time, bye.